Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to English class. So, today we are dealing with the second chapter, and the title of our chapter is Pushkar. So, before going to our chapter, let's familiarize with the authors. Huck and Colleen Gangster are celebrated travelers. Now in their 80s, they have been writing travel articles since 1974. They won the National Tourism Award in 2011 to 2012 for their travel books, The Alluring North and The Vibrant West. These books are part of a larger four-volume series. So, these are the authors of this chapter. That's all about the authors. Now let's move into the chapter. So before going to our main chapter, let me tell you something about Pushkar. Pushkar is the central is part of Rajasthan on western side of Aravalli mountains, and it is about 10 kilometers from Ajmer, and Ajmer is the nearest railway station there. Pushkar is a small town or village in Rajasthan, and in this place every year Pushkar Fair, Pushkar Mela or Pushkar Camel Fair is held every year, and the local people call it as Kartik Mela also because it starts in the month of Kartik and ends on Kartik Purnima. Kartik is one of the month according to Hindu calendar. And the Pushkar fair is one of India's largest camel, horse and cattle fair. Basically, trading of livestock is done during this Pushkar Mela. And it also attracts thousands of tourists from all across the world because of its cultural theme. In this Mela, competitions in cultural events like dances, mudka pot competition, uh, which is very common in this Pushkar Mela. It happens like people have to go, they have to run with the mudka and they have to break that mudka. This is very common in Pushkar Mela. Camel races are also very important, and it is a cultural part of this Pushkar Mela. There are other competitions like bridal competitions and so on. So it is one of the important fair in India. Another important thing is Pushkar Lake. The Pushkar Lake is surrounded by 52 steps, and people in large numbers of go to the lake and take a dip in the sacred lake. People also believe that dip in the sacred lake will clean their sense or cure skin diseases. And over 500 temples are situated around this lake area, and people trade cow, sheep, camel, horses, etc. So that's all about the title of our chapter. Now let's start our chapter. Chapter 2, Pushkar. In the long blue evenings of autumn, when the moon begins to fatten for the brightest night of the year, the tribes start to move. They stream out from all over Rajasthan, heading for the land around Pushkar. There are camel herding Raikas with turbans, like blazing sunset wandering Gujjas, their women in gypsy bright skirts swaying like flowers in a breeze. Lohas with their creaking nail-studded carts and martial bills whose ancestors were dreaded warriors. So the chapter starts with that the locals of this place, Rajasthan, from all around Rajasthan, and they start to move towards Pushkar, and basically they travel in the evening because the sunset and weather becomes cool because basically in desert these the days are very hot. That is why they move in evenings, and they start to move in the evenings of autumn. There are 4 5 people, and they were Raikas, Gujjars, Lohas and Bills. Raikas is the people who herd camels. So they were wearing turbans that are dark orange in color, and it is compared with blazing sunset here. Then there are people like Gujjas. Gujjas are people from pastoral committee. Pastoral means the one who is having land for grazing of animals. So these people they wander from place to place in search of food and shelter. So they are traveling along with their women who are wearing skirts, bright colored skirts. That was swaying. Swaying means it was moving forward and backward because of strong breeze. And then there were lohas. They are blacksmith, the people who repair or make things in iron by hand. And last is martial bills, whose ancestors were dreaded warriors. Marshals are people related to soldiers and army, and bills are the local people from central India. So these martial bills whose ancestors are warriors. Pushkar has held one of the world's most colorful animal fairs every year for centuries. Cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and horses are bought and sold after much bargaining. It is also an annual gathering of families, normally separated by great stretches of desert. So I have told you a carnival held at every year at Pushkar, and it is one of the world's most colorful animal fairs in which trading of stock is done. And this includes cattle, sheep, goats, camels, horses, etc. And these are bought and sold after much bargaining. And families and friends gather at one place because they are not able to meet regularly. And they have to cross a long way through this desert, and it is not possible for the local people to travel so much. That is why they are gathering at one place. Relatives and friends greet each other, and there is a great deal of fun eating and shopping. Because it is a fair, so people are excited and they are very happy, and that is why they roaming, eating, and shopping, and whatever they like. Pushkar excited our senses. The sand felt soft under our feet. The irresistible aroma of frying pakoras and sizzling succulent golden jalebis emerged from a dhaba. So, because the authors are writing their experiences, that is why they are saying at Pushkar, excited at them, because they had never seen such energy, such excitement in their life. And as they were moving on the sand, they could feel its existence under their feet. And because Pushkar Mela has stalls containing food items, that is why these authors can smell the frying pakoras and jalebis. So they were not able to ignore that smell. The smell attracted them from a dhaba. And what they saw there, that the pakoras and succulent jalebis, succulent means juicy. Juicy jalebis are being fried up. Its owner was a man with the build of a wrestler and the expression of a movie villain. We risked his appearance and told him what we wanted. The jalebis were hot and crunchy, dripping with juicy sweetness. The high calorie snack filled us with energy. So the man sitting at the dhaba is the owner, who was having a stern expression, and he was looking like a villain, a kind of angry look, and his body was looking like a wrestler. So these two peoples, these authors, chose to speak to him despite his scary appearance, and they don't want to speak to this man because he is not having a happy look, but instead they spoke and they asked whatever they wanted, and they took the jalebis, and it was having a crunchy and juicy texture. We clicked a tourist perched awkwardly on a camel, looking rather nervous. In front of the camel, a man lay near a sharp pile of long-handled pitchfork called Chokni. He had a mobile phone plastered to his ear. Pushkar Bridges' time and equipment with Chokni and mobile phone perfectly matched. So, this author saw a tourist who was sitting at the back of the camel, and he was sitting awkwardly, looking nervous, and he was not confident. So these authors, they clicked a photograph of that tourist sitting on the camel, and next what they saw was there was another man who was sitting in front of the camel, and he was having a pitchfork in his hand. Pitchfork is a tool or instrument that has long handles and two three curved metal points used to move hay. So this man has a pitchfork in his hand. In local language it is called chokni, and he had a phone that is plastered to his ear. That is, he was talking to somebody on phone as well. On one hand, the locals of these people, they are using instruments like pitchfork, and on the other hand, they are using mobile phones as well. We drift through the crowd, cheered at camel races and turban tying competition, and thrilled at the roaring tension of the well of death, where powerful bikes spun around at terrifying speeds. We delighted at children chortling as they tumbled out of an inflatable Mickey Mouse. So these two authors, they made their way and they went towards the competitions were going on, the camel races, turban tying competitions, and so on. Then they also saw that there was a well of death. This is what we call well of death. It is a temporary cylindrical structure or wall built of wooden planks, and the vehicles that go around the structure are able to sustain their grip on the wall. So the audience was very much excited and they were shouting and cheering. So these others saw these things, and they also saw Mickey Mouse, which is filled with air in order to be used. So seeing that inflatable Mickey Mouse, the children were laughing with joy and excitement. A man with a warrior mustache sat in a stall offering swords and shields of various shapes. We visited a tender stable which housed a super white horse with pink ears. A young Haryanvi farmer said that the beautiful animal was of the Nahra breed, and that it had originally been sold for 13 lakhs but was now priced at 51 lakhs. So these others, they saw that in another stall there was a man who was looking like a soldier and a warrior. He was selling the swords and shields. Then they visited another tender stable. Different kinds of horses were there, and one horses was very beautiful, which is white in colors with pink ears. So young Haryanvi farmer was sitting there and told that the animal was of the Nahra breed. Nahra means that is something that have an attitude or elegance. So this horse was sold for 13 lakhs, but now in the Pushkar Mela, it had been repriced and now to be sold at 51 lakhs. We strolled past women shopping for bangles while their lone male companion stood behind, frowning unhappily. Camels slurped water from a trough, dipping into their own reflection. It was only when we noticed the lengthening shadows that we realized that we had been here the whole day. So the next day they noticed was the handicraft and the jewelries that were being sold, and women were shopping very happily, but their male companion standing behind, not looking very happy. Then again they noticed camels slurped water from a trough. A trough is a container without a lid that usually holds water. So these camels were drinking water and they could see their own reflection in water. It was that time these two others realized, because of the shadows, that they had been there for the whole day, and now it's been evening. The great tented camp on the plain and its twinkling cooking fires were touched by the orange disk of the setting sun. When we wove our way through them, many village folk looked up, smiled, and offered to share their meal with us. So, it was evening time. The sun has turned into a dark orange color. These others moved from camp to camp in order to find a place to rest, and they saw that near every camp the cooking was going on. Now the villagers are planning to eat their meal and go off to sleep. So being the people with good heart, these villagers treated their guests very respectfully, and they offered their food also and shared their food with them. Most desert people are very hospitable. We sat cross-legged around a fire on soft sheepskin rugs, ate ember-baked trotla bread with a curry of crisp desert vegetables. We then drank rich white chas made from buttermilk and churned with spices and herbs. The sun, a flaming orange ball, sank slowly into the hot desert sand. That night was silvered with moonlight as we slept. The desert people are very hospitable, means they are very respectful towards their guests. That is why they shared their food with these others. So these others, they sat around a fire and they were sitting on the mats that were made up of sheep skin. They ate thick chapati baked in wood or coal with a curry of crisp desert vegetables, and then they offered a drink also, which made from buttermilk added by some spices and herbs. And as it was evening time, the sun has turned into an orange ball, and then it slowly sank and it sets down. Then the moon rose up and it was looking like a silver ball. And these people, the others and the villagers, they slept and the day ended there. So this was the experience that was written by the authors when they went to the Pushkar Mela. We rose before dawn and merged into a river of people flowing towards the lake. We were caught in an irresistible current of moving humans for almost an hour. We could not slow down, we could not speed up, we could not move right or left. Then groups began peeling off and pouring into lanes that led down to their fabric bathing guards. We sat on the flat roof of a lakeside building. Thanks to the elevated platform, we have a panoramic view of the Ghats. What an incredible sight! On three sides spread the Jayeshta Pushkar Lake, metallic in the pre-dawn light. So these authors woke up next morning before the sunrise, before the dawn. So before the sunrise, they woke up and they started moving towards the lake. And there were so much of crowd, so many people that were going towards the lake. That is felt like they were moving with a flowing current. These people, they just could not do anything their own. They were not able to slow down, they were not able to speed up, they were not able to move right or left also, because they were automatically moving with the crowd. Then they saw that the people started undressing themselves, and because they had to dip in the gut, so they started moving towards the gut. And the narrators sat on the elevated platform, so they could see everything from a distance. And it was difficult, it was a kind of incredible sight to them, and how beautiful this area was looking, because on three sides big Pushkar lake, and the color of the water was looking so beautiful. It was looking like a metallic color. The steps leading down to the lake were crowded with bare chested men and brightly dressed women. Our eyes were fixed on the glowing eastern horizon. Then, as a chip of the sun thrust over the edge, bells began to ring, and men and women plunged into the water and threw flowers into the lake, welcoming the dawn. Soon, a floating carpet of pink rose petals started to spread out from the bathing guards across the water. So I told you, these peoples, they had basically the men, they had undressed and they had gone towards the bathing guards. So these men were bare chested and the women were colorfully dressed, and they were waiting the sun to rise. As soon as the sun rise, they started to do all kind of religious activities, and they started to bang the bells, they started praying, some started to throw petals and flowers into the lake, that they were welcoming the dawn. That night, while the great glow of the full moon shimmered on the surface, we stood on our terrace and looked out over the lake. Slowly, pilgrims carried their lamps to the water's edges and set them afloat on the lake, to the sound of lapping water and the scent of incense rising in fragrant blue clouds. It was a beautiful ceremony of thanks for the year that had passed and hope for the year to come. So the people were performing their religious ceremony. First, they thanked and welcomed dawn, and secondly, the pilgrims started moving towards the cart with their lamps in their hands and float on the lake. And that was the sign that they were thanking God for the year that has passed beautifully, and they were hoping good things and prosperity for the year to come. So everything was well organized and truly religious. We knew that when dawn appeared, most of the lamps would have flickered out, and the caravans would be plodding back across the sands. Next autumn, before the huge full moon brightened the sky, the tribes would be back, drawn by the old magic of Pushkar. So that was the last day of Pushkar Mela. They had done their beautiful ceremony. Everything was done according to their religion. Now the narrators are explaining that it was believed that before the sunrise, the lamps that these people have floated on the water, it must be flickered out, and the group of people came from different places of Rajasthan. They would go back to their original place, but they have a belief in their heart that they will come back to this place again next season, next autumn, before Kartik Purnima, because that was the beauty of Pushkar, that was the magic of Pushkar that attracts the people, thousands and thousands of people all over the Rajasthan. So we completed our chapter. So see you in the next class with another video. That's all for today. Thank you.